I want to once again thank Prime Minister Modi for his leadership and his hospitality in hosting the G20. He and I have had substantial discussions about how we're going to continue to strengthen the partnership between India and the United States.
I'm very glad I'm in India G20. Well done, with a great agenda and a lot of announcements that will benefit both country and G20 country and the whole world. So I want to say to India, well done, and we're going to work to create a great future for both countries.
I think it was an extraordinary, the India agenda that they developed, and the promotion of 60 debates or more in different cities, these hundreds of meetings that you involving thousands of people, is a new way that India is teaching to us that it's not selfish for the presidents of the countries to participate. It's necessary for us to involve the government as a whole, and that we should involve the people that should participate in the debate. And since we're going to host next year the G20 in Brazil, we will take from India many teachings, and so that we can have a G20 meeting as productive as we had here in India.
Digitalization. India leads on the most important transformational force today. We also saw India genuinely bringing more the voice of developing countries to the table. The African Union is now a member of G20, and India supported the multilateral development banks to come closer together, get more capacity to serve their members. Today, I want to say bravo to India. Namaste.
Congratulations to India on a successful G20 presidency. India gave prominence to issues the developing countries care about. First, it brought the African Union into the G20 as a permanent member. Second, it pushed for reforms of multilateral institutions to make sure that much more financing, including climate finance, is available to developing countries. Third, it helped shape a global perspective on how policymakers should deal with crypto assets. India's leadership in the digital public infrastructure space was squarely recognized.
I consider the fact that there was a declaration a tribute to the fact that the G20 leadership found a way to give and take and negotiate and find the right way to agree to set a path for the world. The world is watching. The G20 has got developed world and developing countries. 80% of the world's GDP was sitting in the room. If they would not agree, that would not be a good message. So I actually compliment India and its leadership, but I also compliment the G20 leaders for being able to make sure that a terrific declaration came out.
Well, the stay in New Delhi has been wonderful, and the arrangements by the leadership of India have been really excellent. The deliberations have been very, very good, very focused. The themes have been addressed. So I think all in all, this is a great triumph for India. India carried it extremely well. Credit to the Sherpa, credit to the Foreign Minister, and credit to His Excellency the Prime Minister.
We are all around the table, and this is a very important point, and I think a great success for Prime Minister Modi. And at the end, we finally got a consensus and a compromise on the key points for the international community. I'm thinking, of course, of the question of war in Ukraine, the question of climate change, and the question of funding for the less developed countries of the world. So I would not say that everything is perfect, but I would say that we are going on the right direction. And since we are going on the right direction, this is a success for India and for the G20 presidency.
As the Prime Minister and Mrs. Modi depart from India, congratulations to the G20 presidency and the G20 summit, which has been ambitious, inclusive, determined and action-oriented. A huge thank you to all of those involved, to our Indian hosts, who once again have shown Atiti Devo Bhava. Bahut dhanyavad.
This was perhaps the best G20 ever, and one in which we showed when you show up, we can do so much, and when you act together, the sky's the limit. While other leaders skipped it, President Biden was here, and I think that speaks volumes of our respect for India, for the Prime Minister, and for the G20. This couldn't have gotten done without the Prime Minister. We couldn't have done this without the closeness of the Prime Minister and the President, and so we had a great bilateral meeting and G20 thanks to his success.